Hi, thanks for joining me. In this episode, we're going to be talking about winter. And we start off in winter because it is really the harshest, coldest, most terrifying season of all. It really is the time of our darkest times with our partners. And in this course, we're going to talk about winter a lot because it really is the times of winter that make us question if we should even be with this person, with our partner, if we should even stay, if we should even put in the investment, if we should even care. Before we get started in winter, I just want to say, if you are in a relationship where there is any kind of retaliation, violence, mocking, humiliation, shaming, pinching, any kind of financial, psychological, sexual, physical, or emotional abuse, this is not your course. This is really for people in relationships that have some issues. This is not for people in abusive relationships. If that is you, first, I am so sorry, and I want you to get help. So please, if you are watching this video and you need some support, I will put up a screen of some phone numbers that you can call. And if you have my book, The 5 Seasons of Connection to Your Love Partner, I think it's like on the first page is the numbers if you are in Canada, the US, and the UK. This course is designed for people in healthier love relationships. So that can be man and woman, that can be the same gender relationship. Love is love. So I will use pronouns, typically they, them, theirs. I will not often do him, her, she, he, because it really is a book that can support any kind of love relationship. So I will talk a lot about partners. You may be common law, you may be long-term partners, boyfriend, girlfriend, or fiance for many years, or you might be married. You might be legally married, or you might be spiritually married. You get to define your relationship. But this book is really designed for two people who are committed to being together and who want to spend more time in summer. Okay, that's it. There are no other defining requirements for this course. So let's begin. In winter, it is really a harsh and stormy time. When you are with your partner and you are in a winter storm, it is really cold, isolating, frigid. You are hurt or you are hurting somebody else, right? It is that time where everything is just blowing around you and you are not enjoying it. You are not there for it and you really wish it would go away. Winter is that harsh time, right? Just like it is in the Northern Hemisphere in the winter months, right? It is cold, it is frigid, it is windy, it is blustery, snow is blowing everywhere. It really is that same time emotionally, right? And so we kind of close down and we hunker in a little bit and we shut ourselves off. And this is really what we do in our relationships. But in our relationships, there's this added layer of pushing the other person away, either because they're hurting you emotionally or they're neglecting you or they've rejected you in some way, or you think they're to blame for your suffering. Winter is really the darkest season that we have. And in this season, you can feel many things. Some of the common things that people feel might be anger, frustration, and hurt. They definitely feel a lack of patience and tolerance for all the little idiosyncrasies or quirkiness of the relationship or of their partner. They might be disrespectful. You might be disrespectful in your words or your actions, depending on how you see the interaction. If you feel like you were called out unnecessarily, or you feel like your partner has crossed a line. Either way, there could definitely be disrespect there, which of course is followed by finger pointing, shaming, or blaming the other person for what's going on. You might experience, or you yourself be giving out some more passive-aggressive lowball zings than you normally would, and you definitely feel neglect. So you might be either enduring a silent treatment, or you might actually be completely withdrawing from your partner altogether. Now, there are many reasons that define how you respond in winter, and we're definitely going to get into that. But right now, I just want you to kind of get in your own space. Think into your own world, your own relationship, your own history, and start asking yourself the questions of what winter is for you. And think about your winter experience, because it changes you. Winter absolutely changes your behavior. And if your partner is in winter with you, their behavior changes as well, right? So not only is your relationship impacted by winter, but both of you personally are impacted by winter. So winter can change your behavior in a number of ways, such as you stay busy to stay apart. You feel irritation at minor mishaps. Or you feel really offended when they exert control over you. You're totally closed off in body language, and you're unwilling to share stories about your day. So how does your behavior change in winter, right? How does it actually impact you in your relationship? Because it really needs to be something that you hold up and you examine from multiple angles so you know what winter looks like for you. So on the next slide, when I'm in winter, I feel, what do you feel? And you can feel something, and then you can behave and act out of something. So first we talked about how you feel in winter, and then when you're in winter, what does your behavior look like? How do you react when you are in winter? And things that set me off include what? So what are the things that keep happening over and over in your relationship, and you just think, oh, here it is again. Here it is again. Why does, they know better? Or why is this always the case? This happens all the time. Why, right? If you ever have those kinds of moments, what is the thing, right? When you're not in that hot button moment right here, right now, you and me together, I hope I'm not pushing your buttons, so you shouldn't be triggered to be reactionary. What is it that sets you off? Think about that for a moment. Now, this is a time where we get to practice our observation skills and our ability to know our partners and think about what we think about our partners. We cannot speak for them. They cannot speak for us. But from your point of view, when you and your partner are in winter together, when your relationship is in winter, it is swirling, it is cold, it is dark, it is disconnected, it is angry, it is frustrated, it is hurtful. What do you notice about them? How do they react when they are in winter? And what might be some of the things that sets your partner off? Now, this is the first exercise that we had together. And so how this would work best is I want you to answer for you. And I want your partner to answer for your partner. But I think there's also value in you providing some feedback. So you can respond to these questions about your partner. Hey, when things are really crazy and angry and we're just like ramping up and everything is escalating, one thing I notice you do is you shut down and you pull back and you walk away, or you get the car keys and you leave the apartment, or you go and you have a shower and you lock the door. Do you notice that? Like when things get really ramped, you completely drop the barrier and the fort walls come down. Do you notice that? Right? They might know that, or they might think, I never thought about it that way. I never really considered it. So you providing some feedback in a non-threatening, non-finger pointing way is a really great place for you to start saying, you know what, when winter comes into our relationship, This is who I am. This is what I notice about myself. What do you notice about me? They might say, wow, you get so loud. You yell a lot. And it really kind of freaks me out. And you can think, I didn't recognize that. I am from, a big, loud Italian family and everybody yells because it's Tuesday. There's nothing special about me yelling, but that's interesting that they actually read into this something more. And this is really what winter does. It provides us an opportunity to break down some of the winter storm into little bits and pieces so we can look at them in isolation. So you will answer these questions for yourself and for your partner, and I would really love them to answer it for themselves and about you so that you can come together and say, oh, wow, I did not realize that. Or, maybe lately I have been feeling more stressed, and so my boiling point is happening much faster. I didn't realize that. Okay, good. Thank you for the feedback, right? That would be the ideal scenario. If you come back and say, but you do it 10 times worse, then we're gonna stay in winter for a very long time. So use this as an opportunity in a very calm and serene environment to ask about what winter looks like for you and your partner, and then compare notes. When we understand what winter is, we can start breaking down some of those components. And the very first component is our hot button. So I will see you in the next video, and we will talk very specifically about your hot buttons.